Salutations, friends. I am finally back with another episode. I have been a busy bee, and I cannot wait, even though Punxsutawney Phil told us we have 6 more weeks of winter. I do look forward to hearing those frogs in the summer. Thank you all for being here. I know it's been a long time. I've been busy with Bodycam audio footage, cleaning it up. But in order for me to do this responsibly, I'm going to have to do this in steps because shit's getting real, and we know it's getting even more real with the Epstein Files. And sometimes you have to wait and see how things play out. It's as though this case was a stepping stone, because many of you know with this channel, I have said from the beginning it had a sex trafficking element to it. So here is Bodycam, August 16th, 2022. I'm not going to clean it up. We're going to just listen to it off YouTube. I did split it in half, so you have Bodycam 1, Bodycam 2. And we're going to hear the inconsistencies and the fuckery and the bullshittery throughout. I'm going to turn on the advertisements for this new series that I'm doing. I know I said I was going to go on my own website and different platforms, but with this information I have heard throughout this body cam footage, as well as the Linda Lane footage of 1330 and 1320, I feel it needs to be on YouTube. And I'm going to put on the advertisements because I've been seeing a lot of advertisements lately kind of touting humanity and being empathetic and being an advocate. Well, let's see if they put their money where their advertisement messages really is. And this is the channel for them to do that. But I'm letting them know now that I'm going to use the language that is needed in order to bring that message clear, because our voice has been stripped. We have been silenced of using certain words, and it's on here on YouTube. If you can't express yourself freely due to community guidelines, which I don't know who made up those guidelines, more than likely it's whoever is part of this Epstein bullshit. And that shit is generational. It's a cycle of abuse. It's power and control. That is why this series is going to be called, let me get it straight here, Lie, Deny, Deflect, in order to cover up and maintain power and control. That has been the message throughout this case, as well as the Epstein Files. Lie, deny, deflect, in order to maintain power and control. This is a systemic epidemic, and sex trafficking is throughout the globe. It's global. And the Greek system started in the 1800s here in the U.S. before World War II even began. Think about that. With that being said, we're going to use an idiom of once is a mistake or accident, happenstance. Twice is a coincidence. 3 times is a pattern or sometimes enemy action. It signifies that while a single occurrence can be random, repeated instances suggest a deliberate, predictable, or systemic issue. And that is why I am using this case as a parallel with the Epstein Files. And we're going to see some similarities. And also remember the previous research papers I have done with Legacy, Fool, the Student. Love bombing is used in the Greek system in order to get prospects and recruits. They have to fool them to get in there. That is why when I do this audio, when I clean it up, when I get the advertisements and people bring in money. The majority of the students there who are in Greek and who are there as students were not down with what was going on. And when you are put in a situation that you are blindsided by, how are you going to react and act? Which is understandable, especially when you are of their age. And that is why with this infamous photo, as they say in mass media, when I diagnose this in my own way of analysis, which is what I do for a living, is I assess and diagnose to see dis-ease. And dis-ease includes what you wear, how you act, what's your environment, what you eat, what you don't eat, how's your mood. That all encompasses. And with this case, it was dis-eased from the beginning, from the line of scrimmage. The amount of students I have shown you previously who are in Greek and then go into politics is concerning, as well as them controlling the student body of the university. Power and control. In the beginning, this is what told me it was a sex trafficking element, not drugs. Drugs are definitely used within this system, but not in the way that you think it is. I said this was a signal, which I still believe it is. Then I said a trophy, which not in the way that I thought. So I was wrong about that. But I had my reservations about Bethany after listening to the audio and seeing her actions and who she called first thing in the morning, as well as being at Pi Phi in Las Vegas, tells me she is on this side with these four. And this is a divider, in my opinion. This is the divider between Dylan on this side and the rest on the other, which is why she has her back turned towards them in this photo as well. Now, I hope Dylan gets the help that she deserves. And this is what we do in this justice system and within most systems, even within your own jobs. We re-victimize people and we use them as leverage. It's become a sickness within our society. I'm sure we all see it. The system is set up for you to fail, and it's set up to be parasitic, to use and to get the most gain out of doing very little. And I hear that throughout. Get the most gain for doing very little. That is a sickness. That's laziness. And this is why politicians are not going to do anything, because they're fucking lazy. They haven't worked. They haven't done anything. They haven't contributed anything to society except for protecting pedophilia and what is involved with that. And we'll get into that throughout this new series. Let's show you how sick this is. So this is recent, 2/17/2026. Fry emphasized the importance of timely communication in such intense cases, and this is in regards to the Nancy Guthrie. I don't know what that is. But Fry, who led the investigation of the Idaho4, admitted that waiting over 3 days to hold a news conference was a failure, in quotes. Why is that in quotes? And this is the New York Times. It was a failure. Not just a failure. Not taking accountability. It was, quote, a failure because it was designed for that. It was manufactured. Why do we hear from Sigma Chi first? That's the Chapins. We hear from them first, and they lay down the groundwork. Drugs aren't involved, and it's not some weird love triangle. They put that out first. Then we hear from Sigma Chi first and Fry then afterwards, because he had to wait until the FBI got there. We don't know the exact time the FBI got there. We are told that they were immediately on the scene, as shown per here. The FBI was heavily involved in the Idaho4 investigation, assisting local police. And then they talked about them coming back. But the behavioral analysis unit came immediately to assist in the initial investigation and helped with the arrest in Pennsylvania in 2022. But we're not told the exact day. Immediate can mean anything. It's subjective. Just like quote unquote failure. And just like when Fry kept saying over and over again, I don't know, we don't know, I don't know. And he's saying that because all of these students followed the plan, which was, I don't know. But someone who's involved in Greek did not follow the plan and said something different. And that is why Fry kept saying, I don't know, we don't know, to re-emphasize to the community to say, I don't know, we don't know. Moscow is small. It is 6.96 miles, square miles, which means they can control the narrative and make sure their secret keeps safe. And that is why when Ann Taylor sent a third party into the community, actually doesn't even go in there, they call community members and they flip out because that's not part of the plan. She showed us that that was not part of the plan, and they would flip out. They don't want to talk because they don't know. And then going back, we hear from Sigma Chi first, then enforcement, which really enforcement. Think about that, enforcement. We hear from WSU Kim, which has always never really bought. She talked like she was all scattered and like she had ADD when she didn't. When she was told to slow down and asked questions, shit got real. If you know what I'm talking about, you know where you heard her, because she ran the circuit. But even though it's a small town where they can have control, it's starting to fall apart. And this is how. I've done the Moscow deaths. And 2022 was a busy year, and this is post-COVID. So we have Hannah Cleary in February, Hudson Lindell in May. Then we have Richard Allen, July 15th, who is a graduate, but his little also committed suicide as well in 2019. And this was told to me in the comments of Moscow Murders, but also this was brought up in, I want to say, News Nation. Law and Crime. They brought up Guadalupe Lupita Coley Ruiz, 21 years old, August 11, 2022, in a car accident. Her sedan crossed the fog line for unknown reasons near the intersection of Perot Road and State Highway 75. How many car accidents of students where they somehow just crossed the line have happened in that dense population of 6.96 miles of students from that area who end up passing either in a car accident or suicide or found dead? It's fucking weird, and it's not natural. It's manufactured for this sickness, which is generational. And the Greek system started in the 1800s, before World War II even started. So where am I going with this? Well, the body cam and the way it was brought to our attention, which is not natural. For example, truth and transparency. Now, I'm not pointing fingers, I'm not blaming, I'm just pulling this out and showing you because it gives you a bigger picture, gives you context of what is going on and what MPD, ISP, FBI had to do in order to get this information out to public. Why? Because no one else would publish it. No one would upload it. And she says in a different video that she sees other news channels have this actual footage but decided not to publish it. Why is that? That includes the August 16th and September 1st and September 2nd. No one wanted to touch that footage of the biggest massacre that happened post-COVID. There were other ones previous, like early 1900s, that happened in Chicago, I believe, with the nurses. But for this specific of on a college campus, stabbed while they were sleeping, it was all just little stories all pieced together. Here on September 1st for the noise complaint, 45 minutes of body cam footage, breaking news, and doing this as a glimpse into the lifestyle of the victims and the neighbors' friends, just to get an understanding. Totally get that. But this, where things get a little foggy, I question this. So here in the transcript, she says, the body cam from the reporting officer, everybody understands how this came about. This was obtained on the up and up. If you're watching any of the videos of the Idaho4, you have seen a lot of maps that have to do with the area. If you're looking at the maps, you can easily mistake King Road for Queen Road, but they also purposefully said King Road. Mass media championed that out there. King Road, not Queen, King. It was very simple on what I did, which was when we had called and talked to a person from Records Department, I had asked for my request to be put in as 1122 Queen Road, not 1122 King. And anyone can easily mistake that, but not the news outlets that are from that area or surrounding areas. Because look how many deaths have occurred of students either there or associated with. And they're all, I don't know about Lupita, are involved with Greek either by hanging out with them or within it. It's such a small university that you can make friends with those who are in Greek. You may not be able to hang out with them the way that they hang out with each other, but they do interact with each other. Now with Greek houses, they stay separate. And that is what gave me notice when you have two different homes, basically three different homes, all residing in one house, a very big house, 3 stories tall, up on a hill, where everyone can pay attention to what they are doing and saying. And then anybody that is thinking anything other than Lana used her brains, I'm sorry, I just don't have that much pull in Moscow. And Vicky did a super chat to acknowledge that. Vicky, thank you. And again, it was a public request. Granted again, thank you, Vicky. And then here is Vicky. You're a great detective. Message should have went with my $20 donation for great work. Loved your last video. And here we see others follow suit. The New York Post, but days later, and giving her the nod, truth and transparency. And here on the 23rd, here we go, obtain body cam footage that required Kaylee to speak to the police. This is about the August 16th. And then you have Law and Crime days afterwards. Go ahead and post the September 1st and start doing the 2nd and the August 16th. So Moscow had to reach out to a YouTube channel who would be ambitious enough, which is understandable, to put that footage out there because it needed to go out. And from me listening to this body cam footage and cleaning it out, now I understand why. Because they didn't want anyone else to be exposed to the audio. And you're going to hear why. So first, we have body cam 1, body cam 2. Body cam 1 is Casey. He steps in to help. And Rosendahl. He left and was in some part of Washington. We've gone over that. More than likely to go recruit people to come to Moscow because they're losing people to help them. Just remember back when all those people retired or just left at MPD. And that was brought up by several channels who picked that up. But there was an exodus. Why would that happen? It can't be just simply doing police work. It's something really, as Brennan would say, nefarious, but it is nefarious. It's insidious. It's generational. I'm going to keep saying that. It's generational. It's systemic. It's made to be that way. And there's so much of it going on because it's $1 billion industry that we're going to be seeing all of it and hearing all of it. So when you see here at 17:22:45, and his starts at 17:23:05, which is exactly 60 seconds. Is that per happenstance? I don't think so. Because you're going to hear a bunch of bullshit going on. And I'm going to do this in small increments. Because those of you who have heard this information a lot, it does affect you. And I will show you how and why. All right, so let's listen to body cam footage 2. And just even hear right off how my voice, when I'm talking, how loud this is. It is so loud compared to my voice right now. And then you're going to hear some extra electrical activity, some like zapping and crunching going on. And listen to the music and listen to how they're talking, how it's a wave.
All right, who's responsible here? Who's responsible here? Whose house?
All right, so you heard that song, Not 21, how it just went up and down. You see them kind of rocking around. You know, it's at 5:23:05 in the afternoon. There's people on the roof. There's couches. This right here, I believe, is what the DJ is. There you see the speaker. And no one's on phones. Now, here is body cam 1 at 23:05. So remember what you just heard. You hear that woo, 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 woo. Not 21. Who's responsible here? So let's listen to this. don't hear whoever is not 21. You don't hear that. It's a whole different song. You hear some weird crunching, like he's walking at the lake in ankle-deep stones, which that is not what's going on. You can see some stone here, but if you even look at a recent photo, no. And this is Google. For whatever reason, this is the most recent Google, and that is definitely done on purpose. And this is not causing that amount of crunching going on. So we'll hear it again. You can barely hear this music correlating into this, but you don't hear that music at all into this.
All right, who's responsible here?
And it is louder when he gets closer, but it's extremely loud. So let's hear this again. So you hear a third song. And that song you do hear a little at when they get to 1122 Queen. So we just heard 3 different songs happening all within a span of not even a minute. 9 seconds, 18 seconds. A lot is happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at how these students are reacting and where they are looking. You're going to see them looking over here where the Moys were living, which is directly basically behind 1122, which is done purposefully, and how they look over by the blue house. And that blue house has been mentioned a few times throughout this case.
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
And notice how the music is still going for the noise complaint, and there he is, and they don't even turn it down. I don't think they're being defiant. Where is that music coming from?
Just need to talk to a homeowner or a renter or whoever's house.
And they know who is there. This is a small town. They know who is there and who is coming in and out of that town. I mean, look what happened to JLR. They pretty much pushed him out of there. They did not want any YouTubers, no one near, and the neighbors made sure. That place is well controlled for a reason. And I want to bring him up. Michael Adario Photography. I want to say it was last year. I didn't look and see, but I'll tag him in here. He did a video about all of the blurred out areas that's surrounding that King Road and Queen Road area, where when that's done like that, it's because there's cameras or listening devices. That place is well controlled, and we're going to see that within the Epstein Files as well. Surveillance, heavy surveillance. Why do you need heavy surveillance on a college campus in a small town?
This is.
I'm one of the people renting.
Okay, gotcha. You guys were warned for the noise last night, sounds like? Same type of thing. You guys were having a party, cops came out.
They weren't here last night. Last night we didn't do anything.
Is there an Elena Shepherd that...
Just hear how loud it is. And there's no Elena Shepherd. There's an Ellie Shepherd who is in Pyfie. So this is at 1723. And you see him coming up. So this is the beginning of the interaction.
You guys were born to a noise last night, sounds like. Really? When you guys were having the party last night? You weren't here last night.
Last night we didn't do anything.
Is there an Elena Shepherd that lives here?
Who's Elena Shepherd?
The person that was born for the noise last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one thing.
And you hear that music still going. Granted, you can hear the loudness because it is their body cam. I get that. But if you look at any other or listen to any other body cam, it is not that loud. But there's still music going for a noise
And
complaint.
we'll tell you we didn't do anything last night.
No worries. Neighbors are calling in again saying music's good. Okay.
And here he is looking over here because there is activity going on of people talking, which is why that music is still playing.
Lives here?
Who's Elena Shepherd?
The person that was warned for the noise last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one thing I will tell you is we didn't do anything last night.
No worries. Neighbors are calling in again saying music's too loud.
Okay.
All I need you guys to do is turn it down.
Sure.
Sounds good.
That being said, the tickets get expensive. We got to come back out here and, the music keeps coming up and neighbors keep calling in. So
Understand.
fair enough.
Yeah, we'll definitely try.
And the music's still going. So are they saying that's the music that's coming from 1122 Queen of the big JBL that's inside the house?
Down. I mean, you're probably off, maybe like very low volume. But
Okay. No, yeah. You can have a party. You can have music, just not loud enough to where people are calling in saying, "Hey,
Sounds good.
my
No
piece of
worries.
music."
We should have.
And they came here first about a noise complaint. And they decided to go warn them at 1122 Queen. So where is that music coming from and why? So here we are at 1723.55. Let's catch up. And look at all these rocks. What is underneath here? Was there any type of equipment that needed to be brought here for surveillance?
All I need you guys to do is turn it down.
Sounds good.
That being said, the tickets get expensive. We got to come back out here and, the music keeps coming up and neighbors keep calling.
Understand that. Yeah, we'll definitely turn it down. I mean, you're probably off, maybe like very low volume. But we'll definitely turn it down.
Yeah.
So the only person we see so far with a cell phone is up here on the roof guy.
You can have a party. You can have some music, just not loud enough where people are calling and saying, "Hey."
Sounds good. No worries.
Yeah, we should have. I know we were going to go talk to them before, but
Yeah, maybe do a lap with your neighbors.
Yeah,
Let them
we
know
should do
what's
that
up.
next
That's a
time.
good
Yeah.
idea.
Go do a lap with your neighbors. So it's not just Greek that live in this area. You know that this is where Jack D and Adam and others live. That blue house, no one lives there. We have 1122 Queen. 1112, we know that those are students. In the house that's over here, up on the hill, we know that there's also students. And those are Pi Phi as well, where they had the body cam of their car got broken in. But all the rest are just neighbors. Don't you find that strange? Who's living in a college town that are not college students, and why? All right.
we were going to go talk to them before. But
Yeah, maybe do a lap with your neighbors.
Yeah,
Let them know what's up.
that's
That's a good idea.
Yeah. You live here?
I'm
We both-
one of them.
Okay.
we're both-
Let me grab your name.
My name's Elliot, Elliott.
And all of a sudden, it just gets very quiet. You even hear shh. So that's 2409. Let's hear on 24 and see if we hear the same.
Yeah. You live here?
I'm
We both-
one of them.
Okay.
we're both
Let me grab your name.
My name's Elliot, Elliott. And then Lund, Lundh.
Middle initial?
I have two middle.
That is very loud, just laughter and chatter. Compared to them talking to Rosendahl. Granted, he's picking up, but let's see how much he picks up as well.
Last name? Lund, Lundh.
Middle initial?
I have 2 middle names.
Just give me both.
Where's that laugh and chatter from? Those two? These people in the back carrying that much? I know sound carries, but not like that. These two are looking over towards 1122.
PF.
Date of birth for you?
99.
Good phone number I can reach at.
I heard shut the fuck up, and he went over here and looked over by the Moys. Let's see if we can hear it in this.
PF.
Date of birth for you?
99.
Did you? I heard it.
Good phone number I can reach at.
My bad.
What's the area code on that?
Eric.
Okay.
So it's my number's very similar to my mom's, so I confuse it all the time.
Happens to the best.
I have hers memorized, of course.
Happens. To board. I think you guys are lucky. The little lady.
So you hear it's quiet. There's little chatter. $24.48, so 20 seconds here.
My bad.
What's the area code on that?
Eric.
Okay.
So it's
Oh, I gotcha.
my number's very similar to my mom's, so I confuse it all the time.
Happens to the best. What's your name, my man?
I have hers memorized, of course.
Happens.
And
To board. DEB. Lady who lived there was so with the D. I apologize.
TED. Okay, I gotcha.
D, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
No, sorry.
check them.
DEB. I apologize.
This is our first.
See how there's a delay? Now he's looking over there. He's looking back at the Moys. There's a delay. And now he's looking over there. There's a lot of activity going on in the background. And they're trying to silence what is going on over within the community of the context of near 1122 Queen Road. And that includes the homes that's by the Moys and on the other side of the street with all those homes. Who lives in all those homes? And who the hell is living in 1122 Queen Road apartments if they're not all college students? So here we have 2456.
Who lived there was gone now. I think that's a rental property now. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely check them.
DEB.
And you hear that laughing and giggling when he talks about the little old lady? You didn't hear that here. Let's go back and double check though. It's off by 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely check them.
I
DEB.
didn't notice it. So you
Similar
hear
to my mom's, so I confuse it all the time.
Happens to the best. What's your name, my man?
I have hers memorized, of
KIAN.
course.
Happens.
And
To board. DEB. Lady who lived there was so with the D. I apologize.
TED. Okay, I gotcha.
D, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely check them.
DEB. I apologize.
This is our first.
Try
Sorry about
again.
that.
It's just disorienting because you see his mouth is not moving, but you hear him talking. Now you got these two looking back totally at where the Moys are.
You're good. DEB.
DORD.
Oh.
You guys all my middle initials are A.
What's that?
Hey.
Obviously know the direct
Date of
number.
birth?
We gotta be smart.
That would be a good idea. Yeah.
It would be. It definitely
And my
would
phone
be.
number is
Okay.
There's just so much going on of conversations that are there or not there. And do you know the drill? You know what the drill is? What's the drill? To keep quiet while the the body cam is there recording because so many people are talking and they're having a hard time covering that up.
I apologize.
This is our first time.
Sorry about that.
I understand.
BORD.
But you guys obviously know the drill.
No initials.
Right?
What's that?
You guys obviously know the drill, right?
Yeah.
We gotta be smart from now on.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
It would be. It definitely would
My
be.
number.
You hear that? Quiet, stop it.
Obviously know the drill, right?
Yeah.
We gotta be smart from now on.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
It would be. It definitely would
My
be.
number.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Again, are you
Sorry
guys
about that.
freshmen or
Oh, we're seniors.
Seniors.
okay? So you know the drill. You
Yeah.
know how it goes.
Of course.
Since you guys live here, you're responsible for the music.
Okay.
So we have to come back out. What's the no?
You hear that extra clicking and clacking?
Oh, we're seniors.
We're seniors.
Okay. So you know the drill. You
Yeah.
know how it goes.
Of course.
Since you guys live here, you're responsible for the music.
Okay.
So we have to come back out. What's the noise to take it up to these days?
Oh God, it's like 350
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to pay that.
Especially
That's the first.
We don't want to pay that.
And
Next time we'll definitely text.
The later at night it gets, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
So spend the money on beer instead.
What the hell's that? It's like a popping, weird suction.
It's like 350
Jeez.
Yeah, we don't want to pay that.
Especially
That's the first.
We don't want to pay that.
And
Next time we'll definitely text.
The later at night it gets, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
So spend the money on beer instead, not on tickets.
Yeah.
Keep the music down. Have a good.
Now that sound I hear also in the 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. as well as in the other Linda Lane footage. Who is the enemy here? What are they doing to make sure that no one hear what is going on there? Are making it difficult for us to hear what is going on there at a college town. So this is 17:25:42. So next 30 seconds here.
Perfect. Again, are you guys freshmen or
Oh, we're seniors.
seniors? Okay. So you know the drill. You know how it goes.
Of course.
Since you guys live here, you're responsible for the music. So we have to come back out. What's the noise complaint take it up to these days?
Oh God, it's like 350.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to pay that.
Yeah. So
We don't want to pay that. Next time we'll definitely text with the neighbors.
The later
Yeah.
it gets, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
So spend the money on beer instead, not on tickets.
Yeah.
Keep the music down. Have a good party. Make sure everyone's over 21.
Yeah.
That's him say, wrap it up, keep it going. That's the sound for Rosenthal. Wrap it up, get out of there, keep it moving. Where's that sound coming from? And you can hear all that extra static. When you hear that extra static over and over and over again, it messes with your mind and your body. How is it that no one has done this side by side? I cannot have been the first person who has done this. How is it that no one really touches the body cam like the way that we're doing this right now? There has to be some truth to what I'm saying, and I believe and I know it's a lot of the truth. So this is 60-minute delay, or 60-second delay here.
$150.
Yeah, we don't want to pay that.
Especially
That's the first.
We don't want to pay that. Next time we'll definitely text.
The later at night it gets, the more expensive it gets.
Okay.
So spend the money on beer instead, not on tickets.
Yeah.
Keep the music down. Have a good party. Make sure everyone's over 21.
Yeah.
If we do have to come back out here, You two guys are each getting taken care of. Got it?
I understand. That's
So it's
fair.
on the
Fair
rest
enough,
of you.
guys.
Make sure the party stays down.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Take care, guys. Good luck. Yeah, thank you. Good semester.
There's just a lot going on. A lot of hearing interactions going on, but I don't see many faces or mouths moving along with that interaction.
If we do have to come back out here, you two guys are each getting tickets. Got it?
I understand.
So it's on the rest of you. Make sure the party stays down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Enjoy the party.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good semester.
And there's that crunchiness.
And in some cases, like when we get here and the stereo's going,
Yeah.
I would also go contact them because it was non-specific.
Sure.
And if I'm warning them, I better go fucking warn them.
True. And that's the bottom row of the house there?
Which one? The one here?
Yeah.
That one's up on, goes through that right where the guy's walking right there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs going to come right back on as soon as we leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
Okay, I'll come with you. Walk up or do you wanna-
Yeah, we'll walk up. We'll start things off on a good foot.
And in some cases, like when we get here and that stereo's going,
Yeah.
I would also go contact them because it was non-specific.
Sure.
And if I'm warning them, I better go fucking warn them.
True. And that's the bottom row of the house there?
Which one? Over here? That one? That one's up on, goes through that driveway. The guy's walking right there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs are going to come right back on as soon as we leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
Okay.
Is he even moving his lips when he's saying that? This is how delayed it is.
Which one? Over here? That one? That one's up on, goes through that driveway. The guy's walking right there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs are going to come right back on as soon as we leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
Okay, I'll come with you. You want to walk up or do you want to?
Yeah, we'll walk up. We'll start things off on a good foot.
Just, it wouldn't be fair, you know, if you're warning these guys, you better warn them.
Yeah, good point.
Moscow 11. I'm still on the department channel. Moscow 111.
Now, what I'm hearing is someone saying, who keeps saying Israel? Who keeps saying Israel? And someone saying, stop saying Israel. Let's go back. And you hear all that crunchiness going on.
Just, it wouldn't be fair, you know, if you're warning these guys, you better warn them.
Yeah, good point.
Moscow 11.
And he also says Moscow 11, which is a signal, a sign, telling them he is on the way up to 1122 Queen.
I'm still on the department channel. Moscow 111. We're clear of 1127 King Road. We're going to be out at 1122 Queen Road. Same problem. Hey guys, can you send someone out who lives here, please?
Did you guys get any dogs from me last night? Because I've been looking for one.
So he's apparently talking to Xander, and he's talking about dogs, hearing clear as day, but I don't see him asking him. Now let's listen again on this side of Rosenthal.
It would be fair, you know, if you're warning these guys, you better warn them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Moscow 11. Still, apartment channel. Moscow 111. We're clear of 1127 King Road. We're going to be out at 1122 King Road.
There's what the crunching. It's not that crunchy.
How's it going, guys?
now we hear the music. So this is... He started talking to Xander, which he walks over and he's talking to him. This is a few seconds ahead. But even though the time is 60 seconds delayed, everything is correlating with each other, is what we're getting from this. Exactly 60 seconds, but they're correlating with what we're hearing. Some louder than the other. So now we hear the music that we heard earlier when they were down at 11:18, or excuse me, 11:27. And you're going to see Dylan open up the sliding glass door, which is the JBL. That JBL is not going to be that loud with the door closed.
Casey, I'm just going to loop around up here.
Casey, I'm just going to loop around here.
Nope. Sorry, you can always call us later and ask in case it gets turned in here. It's our business.
Didn't hear it. Didn't hear him say, Casey, I'm going to loop around here. We did see him, though, go around the corner.
Hey there.
Okay, the glass door open. And someone hitting the glass door pretty loudly. Where is this sound coming from? It's not naturally coming from the natural source, is what I'm getting at. There is something there that is causing the extra sound, the loudness of it, the crunchiness of it. Some of that crunchiness is happening there, but it's magnified in post-production on the body cam footage. Which we're going to see here on this end. Casey never knocks on the front door. They lie. There's no need to lie about basic procedure.
Sweet, thank you. You bet.
And you hear the knock on the door that we heard here from there. And his breathing should not be that loud.
Is this your place, man?
It is not.
Okay, would you mind going and getting somebody whose place this is? Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's up the front door.
You want to send her up back here? I apologize.
Oh, there's a delay there. And they may say that delay is because of taking that information down, but there should be no delay whatsoever. And it could be just their way of they're out, of saying, well, it's delayed there, so it's not accurate. Bullshit.
No one's coming to the door.
You heard no knock.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I took one.
And you heard the music go off there for a second.
You knock at the front door, no one's there. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I took one look at that speaker. I said,
That music came back on because people are talking. And they're talking because they know that there's body cam there and it can pick up what they're saying. And that's why you have someone turning on music, putting up the crunchiness to quiet their voices, to silence them.
We knocked at the front door, no one came.
I'll be right back.
Yep, thanks, man. Yeah, I took one look at that speaker. I said,
You get a lot of guys trying to argue private property access.
the way I've always done it, and correct me if I'm wrong, was the way I did it there. Find one responsible, have everyone else hold them accountable. If I got to come back here, they're getting the ticket.
You get a lot of guys trying to argue private property access.
The way I've always done it, and correct me if I'm wrong, was the way I did it there. Find one responsible, have everyone else hold them accountable. If I got to come back here, they're getting the ticket.
I'm hearing people saying, shut the fuck up. You need to shut the fuck up. This is serious. And I'm going to stop it there. How far have we gotten? We're at an hour. Let me write this down. Or I'll just write it down later. So we stopped at 17:28:36 because we're at an hour. Oh, shoot. Okay, so off by 1 second. Because as I've said, when you hear this a lot, it makes you feel disoriented because everything's whipping around. You're hearing so many different sounds. You're hearing a lot of voices. It disorients you. And then on top of having all that extra sound that should not be there, the extra crunchiness and the crispiness and the crackliness, all of that, it's a lot for you to try to digest and to understand. After listening to Bodycam, our natural reaction is not this. What we see is not natural. It's done on purpose. It's manufactured. It's controlled. It's delayed. It's to make you feel disoriented. And why would a college town do all of this? It's done for a reason, which is sex trafficking was going on, or could be still going on there. And places don't get shut down that quickly. The majority of it, yes, it will get delayed. But here's the thing. We have to keep talking about this, as well as the Epstein Files, and keep it as a almost daily, weekly conversation to let them know, your politicians and those who are in power, that we do not accept this type of generational abuse. You and I who are watching this are now just as much as a part of this, and we do not consent any of this whatsoever. Just to show you how involved the military is, and if you remember the research paper I did about how there is so much organized crime within the military as well as in rural areas such as these. Let me go to back to pain. He's in Afghanistan, okay? Him and his brother crossed paths in Afghanistan. Why is an 82nd Airborne military member in Moscow, Idaho at this time and continues to be there? If you know anything about Afghanistan, there were sexual crimes going on that our military was turning a blind eye to it because they were our allies. Who else was in Afghanistan? Madison Moy's dad. My dad saying happy birthday when he is fighting in Afghanistan. This is December 2012. And here he is holding a lion. Now this lion I saw several different times. Remember the idiom that we went over earlier. So here is one of the times I've seen it. And just to reiterate, I have no idea my dad's not a SEAL anymore. And this was March 18th, 2013. And this is Tyler Moy, which the Moys were there and they did get a lot of heat after the event because of where they lived. And they all just moved there suddenly, for the most part, from Dubai. And here's their house. 1122, no longer there. 1112, here's that blue house with some ring around it. And this house has people, it's like a complex, which we've seen students at. And then here's 1127. Right here is the other lion. For the makeshift memorial at the university where it has Ethan's name underneath it. Forever in our hearts, forever in our hearts, forever in our hearts, with the lion. Why a lion? Well, I went ahead and saw another lion, which, before I show you that, here is ABC News. This was recent. I just did this recently the other day, just preparing for this. Shows the lion. FBI joins manhunt for murder who killed the 4 students. Lion, lion, lion. And this is one of the rooms at Jeffrey Epstein's home, in his townhome in New York City. It's got bars on the windows, and it's not the top floor. Here's a lion. So now we have 3 different incidences where a lion is showcased as a symbol. Overtly and not overtly. This is in a home, but it's a lion. So the Lion of Zion has awakened. Now you heard in that footage, very faintly, Israel being said out loud. Zionism has definitely been a very hot topic. And there are extremists. It's an ideology, but there's also extremists. So there, you have to understand there's a difference. I have brought out Zionism before. And here is the boy who wore blue with the blue and gold. But he's not wearing it. He's holding the shirt away from his body. The Israel Project 2009. When I did a video on this about Zionism, Jewish Zionist propaganda, I made sure to ring a bell for certain parts to make sure you listen to. I only did the first 10 or 15 pages of it, if that. It was only 16, so maybe the first 5 pages. And I saw afterwards how Truth and Transparency was using a bell as well, which was telling me I was on the right track, as well as other people in my comment section of that video saying there's definitely an element of Israel within this case, as well as within the Epstein Files. And I still get dinged on community guidelines with that video because of talking about the Israel Project, which was brought out in 2009. And who gets arrested for the first time in 2008, which is Jeffrey Epstein. First in 2008 for 13 months on prostitution charges, serving with work release, which he gets arrested in Palm Beach, Florida, and has his work release in New York City in the Upper East Side, which is bullshit. And that part of town is Lenox Hill, which is a very affluent area. And then he was arrested again on July 6th of 2019. And then not even a month later, death by suicide. So there you go. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to, the next video, I'm going to do the rest of the body cam. And I'm also going to start doing more of the Epstein. I'm turning on the advertisements. So do with what you will with that, with just powering through them, whatever, your choice. And I heard Israel said several times, and shut the fuck up, so on and so forth. Let me know if you do hear that as well. There's a reason why no one really has dove into these body cams the way we just did. I did in the beginning, but I didn't talk through it. I listened to it a lot and using, at the time, like the arrows, so on and so forth. Mostly on September 1st and September 2nd. But no one has really dove into those. And I find that enlightening of why. So thank you all for listening. I'm going to do the rest of the body cam and then start doing Epstein. And we'll be doing Epstein correlating with Idaho4 with the similarities. I would like to continue weekly or bi-weekly. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you next time.